Welcome to the Her Story Circle podcast, the podcast that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Every week, we dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of women from all four corners of the globe. We're here to inspire, enlighten, and connect, sharing stories that uplift and empower. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore the incredible journeys of women shaping our future. This is Her Story, where every woman's voice matters. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story Circle. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another intriguing woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
Hello, my name is Barbara Casey, and I'm the founder of Mobile High Five, and we're based a little bit outside Philadelphia in Malvern, Pennsylvania. My story is really an evolution of from coming from a large corporate profession and in the advertising agency business. I came to believe that small businesses deserve the same powerful marketing tools that the big brands have historically used, without the overwhelm of trying to figure it all out by themselves. So for 30 years, I've worked in customer engagement and loyalty, starting with the very first ever frequent buyer promotion in this country, the USA, for a client, AT&T. And today, as founder of Mobile High Five, I'm now helping Main Street businesses compete and win by putting the same enterprise level mobile marketing directly into their hands with a little help from us. So my why is really simple. I've seen too many incredible shops, restaurants, service businesses play small because they believe marketing has to be DIY. It doesn't. Marketing is not about how many hours you spend learning another platform. It's not about spending hours every morning with your coffee, creating that next great Instagram post. It's about building real connections with your customers and giving them a reason to come back again and again. And that's what we help our clients do, is to create that reason for them to come back. So what we do is we design and manage SMS text-based loyalty programs, and then we integrate into it a number of different tools and programs, I call them, to help re-engage those lost customers that came in once and maybe didn't come back. We can integrate online review generation. And we can come up with just, engagement programs that keep your business top of mind, and provide that value exchange that's necessary between a customer and a business to give them the why as to why they should come back to your business, because there's so much competition out there selling the same kinds of merchandise, or restaurants selling the same kinds of food. How do you really stand out? And by using mobile marketing, we're able to really make those small businesses shine. And because text marketing is a direct communication channel, you don't have to hop around social media's algorithms, which change literally every day. And there's no guesswork. You don't have to wonder, did someone read my email that I sent out about my fantastic sale? Probably not is the answer. So when you send a text, 98% of those are seen within minutes. And because we're managing the program for you, you have no tech headaches. You can get in touch with me literally 7 days a week. I'm available, for my clients if there's ever an issue. And so what we're really delivering for these small businesses are measurable results. We're delivering repeat visits, stronger customer relationships, and then let's be real, more revenue as a result of that. And so what I really, when I set out to focus only on small businesses, I did it with the eye to hopefully help these small business owners to stop thinking small. When they embrace the tools and support that are reserved for, national brands, you can grow your bottom line. And by growing your bottom line, you're strengthening the heart of your community. I'm a huge supporter of shop local initiatives, and text marketing can be used to drive foot traffic to a business district. We have programs to help do that. So there's lots of different use cases for mobile marketing. It's really, what are you trying to solve? And that's where we really are different. We're not just delivering the technology or a platform for you to figure out. We actually work with you on strategy, and bring to the table my 35 years in strategic marketing, experience. So you're not in the boat alone. We're doing this together. And, I really want to show entrepreneurs that you don't have to do this alone, and that you really do need to think bigger and reach further, because we can bring your customers back. So that's my story.
Absolutely wonderful. Barbara, it's just incredible to hear you share this because a lot of small businesses do suffer. People don't really understand the resources that are out there.
Mhm.
And you've really come in a big way to bridge that gap, to
Yes.
help entrepreneurs get themselves out there.
Mhm.
So, how did your experience in growing up in a small business family influence your mission?
Oh, hugely. So my father and two uncles owned three furniture stores collectively. I grew up in Iowa, which is right on the Mississippi River, and
Yes.
we had two stores on the Iowa side of the river and one store on the Illinois side. And so I saw firsthand what it takes to run a small business, and it's a lot. They're doing everything. They're taking the trash out, they're hiring employees, they're managing the employee. They're literally, you wear 27 hats. And
Yes.
so it's not surprising to me that when it comes to marketing, it's not a hat that a lot of people really have training in, and they're just kind of winging it. And
Yeah.
it shows.
Oh, I love it. That's just awesome. Now, you talk about bringing big boy marketing to small businesses.
Mhm.
What does that actually mean in practice?
So there are a ton of like texting platforms out there that you can just sign up for $20 a month and you can start blasting text messages out. That's not
Yes.
what we do. Sure, part of what we do is our text blasts, but that
Okay.
is not by any stretch all that we do. We
Yeah.
really are designing full customer engagement programs. So it includes, typically we use our loyalty programs as the method to help rapidly build a list for you, because that it provides that value exchange. So
Yes.
your personal mobile phone number is it's an intimate thing. Like, you use it to communicate with your kids, with your parents, with your friends, so you're not gonna hand it out to a business willy-nilly. There's got to be like a value exchange. So
Yes.
when we create a loyalty program, it provides that natural value exchange. You give me your phone number, I will reward you. And so part of the trick is creating and designing the rewards program so that it's attainable by the small buyer as well as the the gold digger at the other end, who has lots of money. And then, making sure that the cadence of, because there's a lot of automation that we build into our programs. So when someone does something or doesn't do something, sometimes it will trigger a text message.
Yes.
So the trick is, how do you create a program that doesn't over text and doesn't under text? Because believe it or not, both are problems. If you
Yeah.
under text, if you think about it, let's say you sign up for a company's text program and they're texting you and you're starting to recognize their texts, and then they stop and it's like 3 months go by, and then all of a sudden they get this random text from this number that they kind of remember but not really, and they're like, spam. And then they mark you as spam because they don't recognize you or they don't remember the signing up. So it's really important that consistency is super important with texting. You want to make sure that you're consistently but not over texting. And that's the thing that a lot of small businesses fall into when they just sign up for one of these platforms. They don't understand the psychology around texting,
Yes.
the nuances of the channel. And so they're just so excited that they can blast out everybody and know that they're going to see it, that they start like rinse and repeat a little bit too frequently, and then people start opting out.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with a lot of businesses that just set up text clubs. A lot of e-commerce stores, for instance, set up text clubs, but they don't do the loyalty component. The problem with that is people will just hop on, they'll subscribe to that text club to get that welcome offer, 10% off today's purchase. And then they get their first text message from you and they opt out.
Okay.
If there's a loyalty program, they won't opt out because there's something in it for them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about them, right?
It's all about them.
So why do you believe SMS is such a powerful tool for customer engagement today?
Because you are in control. First, several reasons, actually. One is today it's all about the data.
Yes.
And who owns the data. So when you're relying strictly on social media, Mark Zuckerberg owns that data. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, you do not own that data. Yes. When he was first starting those platforms, he was very generous in his reward for you getting all of your customers to follow your page or like your page, right? And he was very generous. If you did that, he would present your content to your customers.
Yes.
And what has happened over time is he has, built his database of your customers over these many years. And now he has a huge trove of data. And so the algorithm has shifted completely the complete opposite direction. And so if you want to reach your followers and folks, you now have to pay him for advertising.
Yes.
Otherwise, barely 1% of your followers are seeing your content that you're posting, unless you're paying for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's all about paying to get access.
Yes. Yeah. And if you're willing to pay, I mean, they do have some very good targeting capabilities and things like that, but it's, again, every day that he changes it. And it's like, who's got time for that? I mean, let's be real. We got businesses to run.
It's so hard to keep up with all of the changes. You're right. It actually.
So when you send it, getting back to your original question, when you own the data, which you will, if you build a mobile subscriber list, when you then want to send some content out to your customers, they will see it. Not only will they see it, you will know when they'll see it, because text messages by and large are seen within about 3 to 5 minutes.
Wow.
And you can't do that with email. You can't do that with social media.
That's just incredible.
And let me just tell you one other reason. SMS does not require Wi-Fi to send.
Of course.
It does not require an app download. It does not require a password. and it shows up on your locked screen, even if you're not.
So direct.
So there's so many advantages.
Wow, wow. Yeah, I hadn't actually thought of it like that, because we are relying more and more on being on the internet to get information. And yeah, you've just highlighted another plus there.
Mhm.
So, how do small business owners often misunderstand all about social media marketing?
It's because at one time it was effective. That's really what at one time it was very effective. Those that started their businesses during the, beginnings of social media benefited greatly.
Yes.
But today it's a whole different ballgame.
Mm-hmm. It
And
is.
and I'm not going to, just to be clear, I am never going to be that person to say stop doing social media, because today people get their information 50 different ways. And so if you want to get everybody's, if you want to hit everybody, you do have to be on social media. Plus, social media today, I believe, has really kind of, there was a time when at the beginning of the internet, where if you didn't have a website, you weren't a player. Your website was your storefront.
Yeah.
We've all
Yeah.
heard that, right? Well, now, if you don't have Instagram and Facebook, you're also not a player. So you at least have to have some presence. Do you have to be out there every single day, or, every other day? No,
No.
no.
Oh, I love that. So, how can SMS marketing help small businesses to compete with such big brands, the larger brands that are out there?
So customer engagement is all about mining your existing customers and
Mm-hmm.
getting them to just come in and buy more, or come in additional times than they would have had you not had that program.
Right.
So all of the big brands are doing SMS, right?
Okay.
So your customers are getting Polar Ralph Lauren text. They're getting, every brand on the planet, Crocs. I get one, I sign up for all of them, of course. So,
Yes.
Crocs is doing it, and, all the big brands are doing it. So if you're not doing it, you're by default not competing, because
Right.
it's an attention economy.
Yeah. 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 It's who gets the most attention, and yeah, you just have to be out there doing the same thing.
And
So,
in terms of customer acquisition, you can use mobile to a degree for it, but
mhm.
it has to be used as a call to action on another type of advertising you're doing. So, for example, you're running Facebook advertising, or you're running a billboard on the highway, or you're on connected, cable TV, or other forms of, a local magazine. You
Yes.
can put, text, a keyword that we create for you, or it could just be, join, or some word
Yeah.
to a specially provisioned phone number that we'll get for you.
Right.
You get 10% off your first purchase, or a free consultation, or whatever. And then that call to action is effectively opting them into your list.
Oh, I love it. That is
But
just
but you
awesome.
can't build a program doing that. You can, but you have to have a lot of time. It's
Yeah.
a slow build.
So compliance and regulation are complex.
Yes, they
How
are.
do you make sure that your clients navigate them successfully?
Well, because we manage all of our clients' programs, we navigate it for them. They don't have to worry about it at all. We make
Okay.
sure that if it's a client, let's say we have a lot of clients that have like beer stores or wine retailers, so they're selling alcohol. So in
Yes.
order to send a text message about a product that is a 21 plus in the US anyway, product, we have to have an age gated program. So when
Right.
someone opts in, we build the technology so that it automatically asks them to please reply with their birth date.
Right.
And then if it's fits our criteria of qualifying, then we, they're effectively opted in. So we can do age gated programs. Every text message has, the required opt out. And when we launch programs, it's really important that the disclaimers and things be, within a certain distance of the call to action. There's a lot of different things that you have to really
take into
do
account
to make sure that you're compliant.
Yeah.
And then how you send the text messages also need to be not only compliant, but there are best practices that the carriers like to see. So I'm going to get a little bit in the weeds here for you, but when you send a text blast, we'll call it that, it starts with the platform and then it goes to an aggregator, and the aggregator puts it through their spam filter.
Yes.
And decides if you're worthy, AKA, are you following the rules? And if you are, then they send it to the carriers, which are in the US, AT&T, Verizon, et cetera. And then they put it through their own spam filter and decide if you're worthy. And if you pass all those tests, then it delivers it to the handset.
Okay.
So when you opt out of a text program, you decide you've moved or you just don't want text anymore, and you can do that by replying stop to any message, and that will automatically opt you out.
Yes.
The person or the entity that's opting you out is the carrier. Okay. So then it gets complicated. If you want to then opt back in, you have to not only reply start, which tells the aggregator to take you off their block list.
Yes.
But then possibly you might have to text in that keyword that you started with as well. So,
oh, wow. It's a lot more complex than it seems on the surface.
Oh yeah. It's not like sending a text to your friend.
No, definitely not. So what is the biggest hurdle in mobile marketing, and how does your team help to overcome it?
Mindset is the biggest hurdle. It's getting these, like I said at the beginning, it's getting these small business owners to think outside the box. This is new to them. Okay. And technology is scary to a lot of people. And they're very, and rightly so, they're worried about annoying their customers. And so I have to tell them repeatedly that it's literally impossible to annoy your customer. Okay. Why? Because they have opted in. They have to opt in to your program in order to get the first text. So they are literally saying to you, please, will you send me your advertising? Right? So it's impossible to annoy them by sending them a text message. How you can annoy them is by sending too many.
Okay.
And that's where we come in. We will make sure that you don't do that.
I like that. That makes such a difference. Now, can you share a story of a small business client who was transformed by using mobile high five strategies?
Yes, I can give you a couple, two different sort of industries that we work a lot with. The first is retail. So an example, this was a retail boutique, women's apparel and accessories and such. She wanted to drive in business on a Saturday, and in our area, the place empties out in the summer. Everybody goes to the New Jersey beaches. Right. So it's really a struggle for small businesses during the summer to get enough business because no one is here. And so she wanted to come up with a way to get these people to her store before they went to the beach. Right. So we came up with the idea of doing a flash sale, time limited, from 9 until noon only, on a Saturday. And we sent a text blast out, and her normal store traffic is, 7 to 10 people a day might come through and make purchases. She
Right.
had 54 sales that day.
Wow.
So what we see typically when we send a text blast out is instant activity. In her case, she sent it out the evening before, so the instant in her case was in the morning. But if it were something where we sent it out in the morning, you'll see some activity. You'll see most of the activity that same day, and then
Yes.
the day after, it's about half what it was the day of the text.
Oh,
So
okay.
it really is instant. So that's one example. Another example was for a quick serve restaurant who
Mhm.
specialized in healthy eating kinds of options. So she had been using a loyalty program that came with her point of sale. And I hear this all the time. It's so much easier. It's got to be integrated into my point of sale. No, it doesn't.
Neat.
No, it doesn't. But a lot of restaurateurs, they just, they're going for the easy route, right? She had been
Yes.
using that loyalty program. It was all email-based engagement, and it just wasn't working as, very well. So
Right.
we converted her program over to text. And in the case of a restaurant, we use a kiosk solution. So when
Right.
customers come in, they punch their mobile number into a tablet that's customer facing,
Yeah.
and that checks them in. And every time they come back, they check in, and after X number of visits, they get a reward. This
Okay.
client um, built her list. I'm not kidding. In 3 months, it was like a rocket ship.
Crazy.
Everybody wanted to join.
Okay.
She was getting something like 83% of her rewards were coming back and being used.
Wow.
So, if you figure in her case, her stuff is not inexpensive. So her
Yeah.
average sale, I think, was about $30.
Okay.
So, you take 30 times, whatever that number was, and it's a lot of revenue
Yeah.
for a really not a very expensive program.
It adds up. That's incredible. Oh, I absolutely love this. Wow.
And our loyalty programs are kiosk based, but that doesn't mean we always use a tablet. We have a
Okay.
virtual kiosk that we can use if it's an e-commerce client,
Yes.
where it's integrated into Shopify or WooCommerce, BigCommerce, anybody that allows for third-party API integration, we can integrate. But it is still, it's a virtual kiosk, so it's acting the same way from the sort of in the back of the house in terms of counting either visits or dollars if it's a spend-based program.
Right.
It works the same way.
That's amazing. That's very exciting to hear.
Yeah.
Wow. And now, what myths about SMS marketing do you want to debunk once and for all?
So I want small business owners to not project. So if they personally would never sign up for a business's text program, they shouldn't
Yes.
assume that their customers also will not.
Yeah.
Yes, there are going to be some that won't, but I'm here to tell you that 85% of people today would rather get a text than an email from you. So
Yes.
you're missing out if you don't offer this to your customers. That's number one. Number two, uh, this stuff works. It's like gold mine that you're missing out on. So, like,
Yeah.
you need to get past the being afraid of technology and being afraid of automation. Automation is your best friend. It's
Yes.
literally a way of cloning you. Instead of every morning spending at your computer working on that beautiful Instagram post that nobody's going to see,
Yeah.
we're going to automate that outreach. So it's just always happening. Your business's name is,
It's
this is
out
the
there.
game, getting into your customer's mind.
Yeah.
That's the game. If,
Good.
because then when they're ready to go out to eat, make a purchase, they're thinking of you because you've been in their minds so much.
That is just awesome. Absolutely awesome. Well, I could talk to you forever on this topic. You can see that it has been such an intriguing discussion, and I think our listeners have really got a lot of value from what you've shared. So let's end with 3 nuggets of wisdom, 3 tips that you can give to small business before we leave.
So I would say the 3 things would be: have patience. This is database building, just like back in the day when you were collecting emails, it didn't happen in 30 days. So have patience. If you can give these programs a year, it will pay off in spades. And for many businesses, way before that. It really depends on the level of traffic that you have in your business. Secondly, I would encourage you to adopt an experimental attitude. Try different things. You'd be amazed. I had a client who was wondering if they should, expand their product line. So I said, let's ask them. So we sent out a text saying, we'd like to do this, reply yes or no if you think it's a bad idea. And within 3 hours, she knew whether to do it because she had gotten, 3/4 of people had responded. And then secondly, don't follow the pack. Be different, just like Steve Jobs said.
Yes, oh, I love it. Thank you so much for coming online and sharing the story with us today. I really have learned a lot for my business going forward, and I'm pretty sure our listeners have as well. And thank you to everybody who's tuned in. The Her Story Circle is not just a podcast. We're a social impact movement that brings you the stories and voices of women from all over the world. We share our stories to uplift you, to inspire you, to educate you, but most importantly, to take you from where you are now to where you're trying to go. So if you know someone who has a small business or you are a small business owner and you're wanting to learn this new technology, please reach out. Here is an expert who can guide you every step of the way. I'll be back again tomorrow, everybody, with yet another amazing guest. Have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And Barbara, thanks again for this amazing interview.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye for now, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Her Story Circle podcast. I hope today's story has inspired you to believe in the power of our stories and the difference you can make in the world when you use your voice. I'm Gertrude Mache, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a rich tapestry of diverse perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these stories with more listeners. Follow us on social media by looking for the Her Story Circle podcast for more updates. And join us tomorrow for another episode filled with courage, resilience, and empowerment. Remember, your story matters, and together we're building a stronger, more inclusive world. Until next time, keep making her story. Wonderful. Thank you so much. You are a